reduction on efficiencies, and there's enough data to prove this actually happened. And those service calls and the customers looking at rolling out only ZX across the store. This is one of the case studies, but there are many examples like this. There are people who have gone since last 2 years converting to this kind of technology for cold storages, meat storages, for bakery application where you want to control the temperatures very, very precisely. Remove the space which you use for plant room and just put it on wall. Save that space for commercial use. What it adds value more further, we talked about the modulation concept, is you can actually, as an end user, connect multiple cases on these units. You can replace multiple units with one single unit. That's an energy saving. Also, if you're looking at the cold room side, you can control the temperature precisely. And yesterday we talked about how important it is to control certain temperatures in various applications. You can actually control temperatures far more precisely with the modulation technology which we offer. It's obviously helping you to make sure that it reduces the dehydration of the food and the lesser weight. So the end user is actually taking more weight or actual weights while he's selling and not losing on the weight part. And I'm going to talk about a case study which is actually using this on a global basis. But what it is doing is it is matching a varying load, and hence it is lowering your energy and operating costs. You are able to control the temperatures much more precisely, which means you can actually extend the shelf life of your products, reduce the compressor to cycle, and if you reduce those cycling, the reliability part is, and obviously the life is going to increase for the compressors. Also, it's far less complex than what you see some of the equivalent options available, and this increase, which obviously means a higher reliability and a lower maintenance cost. And if you're resizing or making sure the refrigeration part is optimized, you're also actually indirectly trying to reduce your AC load, which is also a bigger component on the whole C-store or warehouse setup. So let's look at case study. We put this out from UK, and it's a well-known supermarket chain out of UK. What they used to have is these kind of racks using about 8 compressors, standard scroll compressors to build a big rack. And with a lot of interactions and some of these innovative concepts of modulation and liquid injection of the scrolls, we could actually do this. And this is actually working as we speak for the last few years. What it does to the customer is space saving, because you are reducing actually 8 compressors to just 5, and we decided to put one standby. Just 5 or 6 compressors, which is lowering down the cost itself of the complete equipment. And in that turn, reducing the number of compressors is also going to reduce your energy bills. And this is being widely used in parts of Europe, parts of the US, and this is being made possible with the technology and the concepts of injection, which we are using with the compressors. Let's look at the refrigerated transport, and we talked about bananas yesterday, and we're going to talk about dough. We have a customer who had an application for refrigerated marine shipping containers. Dough bananas get shipped down all over the world. The challenge was, it's a global transport. It has to come out from one location going all over different places. And how do you control the temperatures precisely? Because that's important. We saw yesterday, if you're not able to control those temperatures, bananas are going to ride before they arrive at the customer end. That was the solution, and it's actually a thermocane solution, but what they used was a digital scroll compressor to build a system where they could actually control the temperature very, very precisely and control the humidity very, very precisely. And this is what came in as working with the door as an end customer, and that's what we do. We do try to understand what are the issues you have, what are the challenges you face as a customer, and then try to address, offer the solution based on that. And we looked at this. This was a global case study, also available on our website. But then what happens? You have 37 billion pounds of bananas being shipped all over the world. It's one of the popular food we have, including in this part of the world. And we are actually controlling this temperature very, very precisely to 0.5 F, 0.5 C. What we are doing is preventing an estimated 500 billion of spoilage for those as a company. And we're using actually a digital scroll compressor, which is allowing them to offer a far more efficient system, and obviously addressing some of the environmental issues of reducing the CO2 emissions. But in turn, it's saving a lot of money to the customer. These products are reaching to the end users, the shelves, to us in a much, much better way than before. Let's shift gear and talk about some of the supermarkets and C-stores. And this is what we see as a global trend. There are critical events which the supermarkets are looking to address, basically trying to figure out if the equipments are failing. Is the food temperature going high or low? Is the space temperature switched off? Are the system parameters working correctly? Obviously, on the service side, the supermarket chain or the C-store chain wants to know what's the uptime of its equipment, what kind of service calls, what are the number of visits contractors making to repair, what's the frequency of repairs, and what are kind of actions being taken to be more proactive, look at preventive maintenance. Obviously, they have a big set of compliance issues to address, and we have some things also coming in here. We heard yesterday the Dubai municipality talking about certain temperatures and recordings and hazard compliance. So food quality is big prime importance to the end user. There is obviously to many users energy commitments. Not sure how much is the importance in this part of the world of carbon footprint and refrigerant tracking, but it's there in other part of the world. Also, supermarkets are looking at trying to figure out, monitor real-time energy. Are they looking at if they can retrofit some of the equipment to be more efficient? So, given the background of all the retailers or the operational view which the retailers have, this is what we look at offering the solution. It's not just hardware, we look at the broad range of hardware plus the services. And what the services mean is we're looking at also the design part. The first design which we taught, we have a group which actually does a whole lot of designing for supermarkets, for C-stores, for gas station chains. So we work with customers like you and work on designing stores which are far more optimal right from day one, rather than everybody else doing it and then the facility manager coming in and saying he has to manage and figure it out. But then we are supporting this with all the hardware. So yes, we have all kinds of monitoring platforms, and there are various platforms. We go in for supermarket depending on the application, but we're also offering various kinds of compressor technology, be it on the digital semi-automatic compressors or scrolls, all kinds of case controls, variable drives, scrolls. So there's a whole range of hardware, and we support all of it through all the services part, which is field service, the design side. What we do is called as commissioning services. So we come to you as end users and we actually optimize your stores, optimize your warehouses, optimize your setups. So we actually spend 2 or 3 days looking at your system, trying to take it to more optimum levels. And that's what helps people on the savings part, because you cannot change everything overnight. You're not throwing away all the equipment you have, but you can actually save a lot of energy on this. And people save anything between 5 to 20% of their energy bills. And if they're global chains, even 5% is a big value. Apart from this, we do on the what we call the services. So we don't sell all the hardware, but we actually provide the services to them. We have call centers running 24/7 out of Atlanta and Manila, where we monitor about 5,000 supermarkets today. And all we do is we look at their alarms. We are monitoring on their behalf because we believe the supermarkets, C-stores, warehouses, those guys, the core business is to sell those products, to move those to the next level, while we can manage the facilities better on the back end. So they don't have to worry and spend time on monitoring all of this. We do it on their behalf at a very, very optimal cost. So we look at, we look at the alarm resolution part, we look at the energy maintenance reports. So at the end, the end user gets a monthly report of what's happening with this equipment, what's happening on the energy side, what kind of actions they can take. We also remotely can change a lot of parameters because we're monitoring them from our side. So we do, based on customer agreements, change some of these set points. We also make sure once we have optimized the store over a period of time, if there are contractors coming in and trying to change certain parameters, we make sure that those are recorded if there are deviations. And what we call a smart dispatch, where actually we give a call to the contractor that looks like there's a problem, we need to address this. So we are identifying this issues which the end user is facing rather than waiting for the end user to identify and call his contractor. And there are a couple of other things which are on the US market, which is based on the energy load, on daytime energy and nighttime energy costs. Very quickly touch on the design part, and that's what we do here. We have a company called Clive Samuels based out of UK, and its basic job is to design supermarkets, C-stores on optimum side. So we do all kinds of design work for various end users out of Europe, and that part of service is also available in our Middle East. A quick case study, that's what we did with ExxonMobil about 6 years back. converted all of these stores on the monitoring side, so we monitor all the stores. And there are about another 30 big C-store chains, including some of the Walmarts, where we manage all of this. And what we're trying to do is all reducing their energy costs. And the savings is for them. It's a case study by ExxonMobil. They did it themselves along with us, and it's there on their website to see how much kind of energy they save in a year, and obviously contribution on the environment side. That's Dixon, that's some of the controllers. We talked about HACCP requirements. There's a whole range we offer on the controller side, which meets all the HACCP requirements, and it can be right from the air conditioning controls to the refrigeration controls to the monitoring solutions. That's the kind of savings which Dixon gets. And there's a supermarket based out of Italy, actually, and this was done in 2009. And if anybody wants more reference, we'll be happy to provide more details on how we did this. But it actually gives you a saving of 30% just by optimizing. No change of equipment, no investment. Just optimizing your store can save you 30%. So these are some of the things we do along with Dixon. So it's not only hardware, optimization services, provide services, what we call the monitoring side is all of the whole range which we do. Apart from this, these are all other stuff which some of you are familiar. We do a whole range of compressors, condensing units. We produce about 80 million scrolls so far, and we build all kinds of condensing units for the region over here. We are also into the fractional horsepower compressors for very small compressor requirements. We do all kinds of controls, which is on the refrigeration side primarily. Also do matching evaporators for some of the refrigeration products. We're looking at starting some of these high-tech, high-value products, which is racks for supermarkets. And obviously, the retail solutions part, which is the hardware plus the monitoring and the services and the optimization part of the business. So that's the summary. We're talking actually you can reduce costs up to 30%. There are people who have experienced it in the region, outside the region, by looking at some of the high efficiency solutions. And some of the equipments are already being used by the end customers. It's not that we're talking to get new equipment. A lot of their existing equipment can also be optimized to get you the saving. Far more reliability by using innovative concepts. There's a local support we have set up based out of Dubai. We have distributors all over the region to support the local requirements. And we are looking at solutions which addresses the food chain, be it in terms of equipment or be in terms of the facility management for supermarkets and C-store. And obviously, a lot more solutions to support the global trends of food safety issues. So that's all I had. A lot more details on our website, including our local website where you can download how you want to calculate loads. There's a lot of software that gives you more data on this. Also on the social side, if you follow us on Twitter and Facebook, a lot more things, or a lot more activities which happen in the region, you can see some of it over there. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have 2 minutes for questions and answers. Anyone have a question?
Good morning, I'm Gagan from Carrier. Could you compare your small compressors with your semi-automatic compressors? For performance, for warranty, wear and tear, everything.
And if you look at, if you're talking the hermetic compressor versus a scroll compressor, the reliability is definitely higher in scrolls, just because of the number of
How
powers.
should the semi-automatic compressor and scroll?
Semi-automatic, yes, it does